We're going to go through a few questions that we've gotten. We're going to stick them in a box and randomly pull one out and see what we get.
Making sure the needs of all students are met. Different learning methods, pace of learning, giving personal feedback. Something comes to your mind?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind, I also, full confession, I have recently been working on the German translation of our program, so I have certain texts that are kind of scrolling past my eyeballs while you're reading the question. And the one that scrolled past my eyeballs immediately is the tool that we call One Voice, One Message. Now, the one voice part is relevant if you have more than one teacher in your class. So for instance, when we're teaching partner dance and we're teaching together, and then even if it's only one teacher, the idea of one message is mostly focused on giving the students only a little bit of information and then letting them work more independently of you. So spending as little time in the middle of the room with everybody doing things together and you talking as possible, and as often as possible being able to walk over, put on the music, and have students be able to dance independently of you. Now, if you're teaching choreography-based classes, you will have less ability. If you're teaching a social danced improvised-based class, you'll have more. But in my experience, there's always a possibility to do at least some of that. And the moments when your students are working independently, those are the moments where you can walk around and give the one person who really responds to touch to be able to feel the movement with you, or have you nudge their shoulder in the direction that you're looking for. And the other person who needs a little extra help gets to do the footwork with you in the corner for a moment. And the other person who needs a little extra challenge gets a little, psst, hey, how about this? Maybe it's more feedback, maybe it's a whole new idea. All of that can happen as soon as students are independent, and is really hard to do when they're not.
Exactly. I'd like to talk about the different learning methods. And there are all these theories about whether a person is a visual learner, kinesthetic learner, auditive learner, olfactory learner in dancing. I don't know about that one. But these are actually very interesting approaches to use for your teaching, and I strongly recommend them. But the research is not actually showing that people are different kind of learners, but rather that people appreciate multiple ways of learning. So multiple ways of saying the same thing. If you're standing in the middle of the room and you have already exhausted your verbal communication and visual demonstrations, well, next time if you get an opportunity and a student is asking, let them feel it. So go to the kinesthetic approach for that one. The same thing with any other sort of framework that is targeting different kind of learning methods or learning styles. Maybe I just translated to learning styles when I read it. But yeah, that would be my 2 cents.
Yeah, I like that idea, giving us more flexibility and attacking things from more angles rather than trying to make a mental log of what learning type does each person prefer. Right. Even if you could make the right guess about that, I don't see that it has much value. And yeah, the research tends to show that that probably wouldn't be accurate anyway.